basically, right? So curious about the methodologies and tools. That is there a project management philosophy that you guys use? Like I know there's so many now, integrated project management, agile, work breakdown structures. Is there a specific way that you structure your projects, or is it dependent on particular project? Yes, Mike.
So, yeah, we don't buy in for, we don't follow certain, trends. We just do solid project management. Our work breakdown structure is very simple. It's broken down by the architectural phase. We do break down construction administration into separate phases, one for field work and one for in the office work. We might break out interior because we have integrated interiors. We might break that out separately. We're busy developing a bunch of new services, and so some of those things are coming out as new phases. What we found, let me explain the rest of it. Every 2 weeks, we do kind of a round robin through the office using paper and technology. We ask all the staff to estimate what they're going to be working on over the next 2 weeks. And part of this is their overhead time, part of, holidays or vacation. Part of this is I don't know time. And part of it is I'm going to be working on this project or that project for this many hours. Do that every 2 weeks, same time. Project managers do a report to estimate where they are in the project cycle. So every project has a % completion that the project manager estimates. We are 80% complete. And then they also project what they're going to need for the next 2 weeks. So this triggers all kinds of activity. This triggers financial reporting, billing. It triggers project closeout, photography, client surveys, how are we doing? It triggers all this stuff. And then every other Monday morning, leadership, project managers get together as a team, and we discuss what the next 2 weeks look like based on all of this input, and we try to reconcile. So what we did was we asked project managers what they think they're going to need for the next 2 weeks, and then we asked individuals what they think they're working on for the next 2 weeks. Sometimes they don't line up, and that uncovers an issue. So we have, guess what, conversation about it. And we try to resolve those problems without technology, just sitting across the table or through technology like this to resolve it. So we have a pretty normal thing. It's infrequent that we would go so far as to create a PERT chart or a Gantt chart. We did, I was in a meeting with the other day, we were working with a client and said, well, I'll send you the list of activities and I'll let you know what the critical path is along those, which we're used to hearing all the time. And of course, the client said, critical path? Oh, good for you. You must be a project manager, because that person knew too. So we got lots of high fives for knowing how to figure out a critical path. Even though we really don't use tools to do that, we just use common sense to do that. What we found is that by intentionally not managing to subphase or task level and intentionally not making big drawn out PERT charts and things, those are distractions from actually doing the work. And we'd rather just focus on getting things going, helping the client solve the problems, and managing at big bucket levels of information. We've just found over the years that that's been the most impactful way to manage budgets and people.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's like, because sometimes you're spending way more time documenting things and not actually executing, and then altering the plans every once in a while. So you don't want to do that.
Our test question is always, is what I'm doing bringing value to the client?
Right.
And if it's just focused on internal process, we try to get rid of that as much as possible.